Hey there, all you wayward sons and daughters. Welcome back to the Winchester Report, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things supernatural over on the CW. I am Loth, and joining me is
Jenny, and it's important that you say on the CW because one of my friends actually got confused and thought we were podcasting about actual supernatural occurrences instead of the TV show.
exactly because there's tons of like supernatural based like podcasts and stuff, so that is why I tend to make the distinction.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do that in the summer. We could do like a ghost haunted house and stuff like that.
Yeah!
Okay, what episode are we talking about this week? Yes, 1114, The Vessel. And it is it has a double meaning for this episode. I like that.
Oh, poor Jimmy Novak's body.
Yeah. That's all you can really say at this point.
Yeah. Poor Jimmy Novak's body.
This episode was written by Robert Burns, and then it was directed by John Bedham. Dean is sent back to 1943 by Cassifer, to retrieve a weapon to stop a Mara called the Hand of God, which was lost on an ill-fated submarine mission during World War II. The monsters of the week are the Thule Society in the flashbacks and Lucifer in the present day.
The Thule.
Yeah.
They're actually really interesting. But that's probably only because we see them so little.
Exactly.
Like, the last time we saw them, wasn't Charlie still alive?
Yeah, that is the last time we saw them.
Was Charlie in that episode? I don't think she was.
It's been a minute. I wasn't. I don't know. Like the first time we saw him, it was just like, okay. The second time got a little better. This time they're just kind of supporting kind of character because we're dealing with the men of letters, and that's like a natural foil for them or whatever. So I just am so over Nazi stuff.
I'm ethnically Jewish, and I would have to say that I'd like to see more of the Thule. And if anybody is over Nazi stuff, it is ethnically Jewish people.
I don't know. Like, it was just weird. This episode was weird. It's like, I don't like the time travel episodes, I guess. The only time travel episode I liked was the one where Anna tried to kill Sam.
Because we saw Mommy and Daddy Winchester.
Yes. I don't even think it has to do with that. It's just that it was a smart plan. It was something new and fresh, and they really didn't screw the pooch as much as they have in all the other times that they have time travel. I mean, out of sheer fun, obviously I love it when they go to the Wild West because Dean and his weird fixation keeps being made fun of because Jensen actually really does love that stuff. So I love when they kind of incorporate the actors' actual like stuff and then poke fun at them. I love meta, but I mean that was just for fun, not for the.
Then why did you not like it when they put the Taylor Swift song at the end of one of the episodes?
Because it's Taylor Swift. No offense to people who like Taylor Swift. She's a lovely woman, and that's just not my cup of tea. And it's just.
Isn't she the first woman to win Album of the Year 2 years?
Not 2 years in a row, but two. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I'm not taking away from her accomplishments, but I think I've reached peak Taylor. I reached peak Taylor Swift about 2.5 years ago. Is all that I can say about that. But she is a lovely woman and she's very talented. I just want
serial
rock and roll
dater.
Back.
She is a serial dater.
I don't care about any of that because I'm not into celebrity gossip. But yeah, I just want more rock and roll.
Unless it's Misha Collins. Then I'm into celebrity. Because Misha Collins is actually funny. As well as, like, he does Gishwiz, so I have to keep tabs on him for that.
I have Twitter for that. If I ever feel lost, I just scroll tags, and I'm like, okay, now I feel all caught up.
Yeah.
But, anyway, what happens in this episode? Yeah, they go back in time to World War II, and They're on a sub, so they can't do that much damage, was the saving grace of this, I think. Also, you can say your line that you said before we started. The best thing to come out of this episode. You said Cass is out of the bag.
Yeah, the Cass is out of the bag.
I don't know how I feel. It's weird because, obviously if you watch this show enough, you know that basically there's a running theme of, self-sacrifice. And a lot of the time the self-sacrifice is actually pretty it's a moot point in the grand scheme of things, and that's something that's very frustrating, especially at this point in the game where the Winchesters are outgunned, outmanned, and outclassed because the story just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and they're just two human hunters at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why they need the angel.
Who, until he took on, Tib Lucifer into his vessel, was pretty weak and depowered. Because he had become a Dos Ex Machina a lot of the times as well. So I did appreciate them kind of addressing it, but now it's like we're back in that same cycle, kind of almost.
Do you think they're gonna redo the apocalypse after this?
I mean, they've been recycling a lot. So,
well, I mean, Lucifer's back in the picture, so I don't see why they couldn't.
I think that they
and they're nearing the end of the show, so they'd redo the apocalypse, but it would end with God actually being there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they jump-started this too early. If that's what they're working towards, I think they jump-started it too early. But I mean, Amara almost seems impossible to defeat. Like, honestly,
nothing is impossible. The word itself says, "I'm possible."
I mean, hate me if you must for me saying this, but I think that if the show ended on a darker tone, I'd almost be okay with it. Jensen and Jared have said on numerous occasions that they don't see a happy ending for the boys. It would almost be a disservice to the story of the boys, and I kind of concur. How about you?
I'd be fine either way. I want them to be happy, but at the same time, I agree with, the disservice if they have too much of a happy ending.
Yeah. But I did enjoy Sam being Sam in this episode, doing his little research thing, and I love that Dean didn't want to put Sam at risk, and, it was a logical kind of choice. And I love that Sam would do anything for Dean. He's just like, touch my soul, and I'm like, oh, you sweet precious baby.
He didn't know it was Lucifer. Think he would have still done that if he knew it was Lucifer?
Yes, because it's Dean. At the end of the day, that's what that boils down to. But we got introduced. Hey, remember when we were talking about how we were wondering if there were women of letters? Turns out
there are.
But she was this was almost like a Mata Hari vibe for me. Obviously, because it's French Resistance and a femme fatale and all those things. But this is actually based on Das Boot, which is one of those German war movies on a sub. I saw a lot of the influences for that, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then we also get Ark of the Covenant. I thought it was a mishmash / hodgepodge of really good ideas, but
together they just didn't work.
Okay, thank God it wasn't just me.
You can get the best ingredients for a soup or a stew or whatever, but if you put them all together and you're a bad cook, overall it's not going to turn out that well.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like I don't know. it was kind of flat emotionally. Like they wanted this to be like an emotionally charged situation, but it just felt flat for me. I, I don't know. It's just really like the time. A lot of the time travel episodes are really weird, or a lot of episodes just in general are really weird when they split the boys up.
I feel like with the time travel, they're afraid to do anything because they're afraid of like drastically changing the world.
Well, a long time ago when we first encountered time travel, um, what was it? It was it's a theory of time travel for like TV or movies or whatever. I'm trying to think of the actual name of it. Um, Shoot, I'm at a loss. 1 second. I'm thinking. Let me look. But it's the kind of time travel that you don't have to worry about butterfly effects or paradoxes or anything like that. It is called Novico's self-consistency principle of time travel. That just means that all time travel has already happened. You can only travel to the past because you've already traveled to the past. You can't change the past by time traveling. You can only fulfill the events of the past. There we go. Yes, time travel gives me a headache.
It doesn't give me a headache. But then again, nothing has given me a headache that has not physically hit me in the head.
Oh, this show gives me a headache sometimes. But no, that is basically what the time travel in Supernatural is based on, as far as I can tell. Specifically, I got that idea from the episode where Balthazar sinks the Titanic. My heart will go on. And so that's just kind of been my headcanon, and that's kind of seems to be the case. No! I agree with Balthazar.
I like Celine Dion occasionally.
Anyway, talented, lovely woman. Again, just not my cup.
I am a vocalist. I appreciate her as a vocalist. I never specifically said that I was a big fan of her music.
My heart will go on ruin TRL for me in my high school days. So that's just a personal vendetta. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to like Delphine. I did. But that cold open, I was just like, wait, what? I gotta start reading spoilers again because I'm tired of getting sideswiped. Did you know this was we were gonna have like a flashback episode, kind of, sort of?
Yeah.
You did?
Mhm.
Because you watch the previews at the end of the episode every week, don't you?
Yes. And I read all of the spoilers.
Oh.
All of the spoilers. That is what I'm not reading Homestuck.
I don't know. I was really freaked out about the whole Cassifer and Crowley thing. He had him in a cage, and I was like, this has so many elements of like BDSM in here. Like, I am just.
Oh my goodness! I'm not the only one who thought that.
I was just like, I don't even know what we're doing anymore at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lucifer actually did keep him as, well, you know. And yeah, thanks for saying it like that.
Yes, a pet, because this is a family-friendly podcast. That was just like a little over the top for me. I really feel like Lucifer does lack ambition. He was the king of hell. He did reign over it with an iron fist before he was put into the cage. And so, I don't know. Like, I want Lucifer to be epic.
I thought Crowley was dead.
You know we ain't killing off Mark Shepard. Have you met this show? Have you met this fandom?
Yes. We're the fandom that puts Lucifer and Castiel together literally.
Oh. As
literally as that can be taken. We are the people that do that.
Yeah, we are. So, I don't know.
wouldn't be surprised if someone like made this up as a headcanon or an OC before they actually did that, and one of the writers was just scrolling through Tumblr when they got that idea.
I'm telling you, I think that the writers definitely got a hold of the Tumblr supernatural wish list around season 8. No, season 9 is when I started really noticing certain things being checked off that very specific, detailed wish list. And it wouldn't surprise me. You know, the show
Why
is 11
haven't they?
seasons old. You got to do
Why-
something to keep the butts in the
Why
seat.
haven't they checked off DSTL yet?
Probably because of a network thing. Probably because of a Jensen thing. I mean, let's just be real.
It's not a Misha thing. Misha's actually.
I mean, okay. In all fairness to the Destiel thing, you guys actually have real life cockles. I mean, come on. Don't be greedy. Just saying. I'm just saying.
But we want Dean and Cass to kiss!
Ugh. Yeah, that'll be the very last thing if I ever checked off the wish list. Just to be real. CW
Impala's gonna be a human before that?
I guarantee you. And I think John Barrowman just might play it because he's on another CW show, guest starring actually when it comes back in April called Rain. So,
And isn't he on Arrow?
Yep, he's on Arrow. That's his main gig. But now he's branching out to other shows. So I'm thinking, you know, and the CW likes to keep their actors around. So it could happen. We could petition and make it happen, and he might find it funny and start petitioning for it himself. Just saying, tweet at Team Barrowman. Team Barrowman News, I believe it is.
And tweet at CW, at the CW, or whatever the CW's Twitter is. And I'm pretty sure the CW has an Instagram as well.
Yeah, they do. And they have a Tumblr.
So make fan art of John Barrowman as the Impala, put it on Instagram, and tag the CW in it until they get the fucking hint.
Yes. I'm all for annoying the hell out of the CW. I really am. What else happens in this episode? Not much else. Everything just, I don't know, we're at episode
The Thule happens.
So we have like 9 episodes left in this season, guys. And we're going on break in March for 3 or 4 weeks. So we got a cliffhanger episode coming. So we're spinning our wheels is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say it in a very polite way. But yeah.
Hi. Sorry. I do not like hiatuses.
It's shorter than the winter break, so I can deal with it. I don't...
And it will motivate me to actually get the sewing machine out.
Oh.
Yes. I own a sewing machine, people, that I've never used.
So what are you gonna make, like a Misha? I mean, a Misha. You're gonna make a Castiel cosplay? You're gonna make your own trench coat?
Actually, I do have a trench coat for that already.
Me too, but it was for John Constantine, but it just happens to be the same thing. Because that's who it's kind of sort of based on. So, 2 for 1.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking on, like, I can't pronounce the troll's name, so it's just, yeah, that I was planning on making a cosplay of one of the pre-Scratch trolls. Or would it be post-Scratch? Homestuck is confusing!
Yes, it is. So yeah, basically this was a very,
Basically, it's the other version of, like, okay, so you know how Cancri is the other version of Karkat?
mm-hmm.
It's basically the other version of Gamzee, and you can only talk with, like, telepathy and sign language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This episode was very big. It was like threadbare. Like I don't know. They tried. I appreciate it. I thought that the costuming was great. I thought the set construction was really great. But I don't know, a lot of things just fell flat for me. I don't like when the boys are split up, I guess, is at the end of the day.
Yes, they need to be together to accomplish stuff.
Apparently. Have we seen them use that angel vanquishing thing? Like, it's been a long time since we saw that, right?
Yeah. I almost thought they forgot how to do it.
So what else? I think that's all I really want to talk about. I don't know, like I'm just ready to get to the meat and potatoes. I'm ready for Amara to kick Lucifer's butt.
Or Lucifer to kick Amara's butt.
Either way, I need something to happen.
I need someone to kick someone's butt.
I need some action. That's what this season has been missing. Are you tickling me?
No. I'm sorry. I am a homestuck. That's just I will make anything the most dirty-minded statement ever.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez, Jenny, what am I gonna do with you?
Not tell my mom?
Well, hopefully she doesn't listen to this week's episode.
My mom doesn't listen to podcasts at all, actually.
Then you're safe. Your secret is safe with us. So yeah, let's just get to the good stuff. Who was your favorite character?
Lethul, because we haven't seen them in so long.
Okay, fair enough. I actually really liked Petey as the side character. And
he was a real hero. The soldier?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, he barely knew anything about the cause, and yet he was just like, okay, this is for the greater good. I'm ready to die for it.
Yes. But, I don't know. I really liked Lucifer when he realized he could kill Sam.
Yeah, you're like the girl who was always turning me down at the prom. That's actually one of my favorite lines.
Hopefully Dean didn't bang her too. Oh man, this show. Yeah, I really want to give it up to Misha for his acting in both roles. I think he's killing it. He makes a very good distinction between the two characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite scene?
Probably when Cassifer is touching Sam's soul.
Of course it is. My favorite scene is the end scene where Dean is kind of explaining what happens, and Sam's like, "Hey, you want to talk about it?" And he's like, "No." And then he asks what happened to the ship, and he feels like a little bit contented about it, I guess. So that was a good scene between the boys. Did you have any dialogue that made you laugh, cry, or cringe?
Well, I already said it. You're like the girl who was always turning me down at the prom.
Okay.
Or basically anything Lucifer said in that scene.
Let's see. Dean. Captain James Dearborn. My name is Dean Winchester, and I'm on a mission from the future.
Oh yeah, the Flash Gordon thing. You know.
That was good as well. Not to be confused with Flash Gordon from Spider-Man or the Flash from the DC comic books. Let's see. Lucifer or Cassifer, actually, kind of, sort of. I feel a burden lifted. You know, this whole deep cover thing. It wasn't terribly well thought out. Donning this cast mask, this grim face of angelic constipation, just ugh. And then teaming up with you two.
Angelic constipation.
Well, basically. I mean, I thought you two boys were insufferable as mortal enemies, but working with you, that's the soul crusher. Like,
he literally crushes souls. That is his job.
Oh, good grief! Like that was some good cheesy scene chewing lines right there. It was great. Um, my favorite moment is when we realize that the hand of God is a dud. I'm like,
Um,
yes.
actually, I thought of a theory for that.
Oh, really?
One, it might only work in the hands of humans. Got, of course, debunked when Dean tried to use it at the ocean at the end of the episode. Um, Two, it could just need some time to recharge. Like, come on, you don't exactly see God making miracles back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
True.
And then the third one, which my mom actually came up with, credits to mom, is that it needs the presence of God. Of course, I would have never came up with this one because I am an atheist. God was present during the World Wars. He isn't exactly present now.
I think I'm just glad that they didn't do the Spear of Destiny, like the Constantine movie, and also Hellboy. I'm glad that it was the Ark of the Covenant because we at least we referenced that like way back in season 6. So I don't know. I felt a little bit of continuity going on there, but I don't know. I don't think they thought this whole Amara thing through, and that's why we're kind of spinning our wheels at this point. That's just my personal theory. Let's see. Trivia. The music in this episode is "Je ne regrette rien" by Edith Piaf. It is playing while Delphine kills the Nazi dude in occupied France, and also when Dean is sitting alone on the dock. Great way to book in the episode, definitely. Although I would have preferred K Sarah Sarah. I think that should be the unofficial theme song of Supernatural. Whatever will be, will be. Let's see.
Is there like a name of a song that translates in English to "We are going to destroy the world"? Because that would also be a good theme song for Supernatural.
Let's see. We got a.
I mean, come on, I wouldn't put it past classical music. I'm pretty sure Mozart actually composed a piece that translates in English to "lick me" in the other word for donkey.
Yeah. That is true. It's some weird random things in our history. Shout out to the Game of Thrones reference when
Yeah!
Delphine says the men of letters send their regards. I absolutely lost it. That was great.
Yes!
We got a Rosie the Riveter shout out. Obviously, it's World War II. We can't have a World War II kind of thing without shouting her out. Uh, your mission, should you choose to accept it. Of course, Mission Impossible TV series and movies. Waiting on something to self-destruct. We got a shout out at James Cameron with the Titanic reference, which is funny because James Cameron also made the TV series Dark Angel, which Jensen Ackles was in the second season. And if you haven't watched Dark Angel, you have to. It's great.
But I got my Netflix taken away.
Well, you should be a better child then. Poor thing. How are you gonna make it? Like, if somebody took my Netflix away, I don't even know what I would do.
Probably just cry until they give it back.
Can you use Hulu? It's
No.
free for 30 days.
My mom said we are no longer allowed to use Hulu in this household because they stopped making new episodes of One Life to Live.
Oh. Good to know.
Yes, Hulu will not be tolerated in our household.
Lucifer also made a reference to the book The Once and Future King, which is our Arthurian fantasy novel by T.H. White. Let's see. We got 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Of course, we can't have that. We can't have an episode with that without a
Steampunk.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we got Queen of Sheba, Flash Gordon. I love how Dean doesn't follow baseball. I could have sworn that they did follow baseball. I thought that was like a thing. In season 5, I know we referenced baseball and them love.
Maybe they've been too busy fighting bigger, badder, big bads.
No, but it goes back to when they were kids is the reference that I'm talking about. That was like the one happy spot that they shared with their dad. And it's why Dean was so damn annoyed that John took Adam to baseball games or whatever. But anyway, yeah. The Texas Rangers didn't become a team until 1972. So great job, guys. Great job. But who won the 1944 World Series, you might ask? It was the St. Louis Cardinals. 4-2. Yep. Just thought you guys might like to know that. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love Dean and his, oh my god, his pop culture references. He's the best. Fun fact about the submarine set. It was built on the Supernatural soundstage. It was 100 feet long and took 80 people 2 weeks to construct. The design was based on the USS Cobia submarine, which is a National Historic Landmark at the Wisconsin Maritime Museum, and the U.S. Bowfin in Hawaii. The guy that played Captain James Dearborn also played one of Lilith's demons in 422 Lucifer Rising. And then,
Lucifer! He is in 2 Lucifer episodes.
He is. I also love the reference that Castiel using Bobby's soul as power from 618 Frontierland. And it's so apropos that we're bringing up Bobby because Bobby and Rufus are having.
Not now, Dad, I'm podcasting.
So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So what about the grade?
You have no clue how much I want to say something. First
First
off, the one that I want to say is honk out of 10. Because I made a Gamzee reference earlier in the episode. However, actually, I'm going to go with a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 5.5.
We didn't see Amara, but at the same time we saw the Thule that I'm pretty sure we've only seen, 3-4 times, including this episode?
I was bored to tears. I'll just be honest. I didn't feel like anything was... There was nothing at stake.
The Cass is out of the bag.
That is something good that came out of it, but it's also more man pain and angst that I can handle right now. So.
And we made the Bobby reference, and Bobby will be coming back after the March hiatus.
Mini hiatus.
In which we will be memorializing Charlie.
Yes, yes.
However, I have to think of another character than the Roadhouse to do, because the Roadhouse was suggested by someone that I no longer talk to.
But we're still going to do it eventually.
Yeah, just not right now out of spite for her.
I love you, Jenny. Spite is an excellent reason for a lot of things. Despite what society tells you.
Despite what your ex-girlfriend tells you. Because, yeah, that girl was my ex-girlfriend.
Aww. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. We need to get this ball rolling. So, let's do some shameless plugs. Do you have any fanfic, fan art, fan songs, or anything of that nature that you want to share?
Surprisingly no this week, because I started Wattpadding again, and the first thing I look for is, guess what?
What?
Home smut.
Oh God. I found a really cool fan art. It's from March 19th, 2015. But I still like it. It is a take on one of the Beatles' classic covers. It's got Dean, Sam, Castiel, and Bobby.
I've still got
walking across the crossroads, which was really cute as well. I I found it on Hey Ask.
Okay, you know what? I now am going to recommend a fan song. Just because you said those 3 names in that order. I will be recommending Sam's Landmint. Specifically because it says, I still got Dean and Cass and Bobby. Well, I've still got Dean and Bobby. Well, I've still got Dean. I'll always have Dean. And it's relevant with Lucifer's presence.
Okay, cool beans. Yeah, I found it on Hey dash ass dash booty.tumblr. I don't think it's theirs, but that's where I found it. I can't find the original source for it. So when I post it, and if you know who actually made it originally, please let me know, because I am always about correctly sourcing fan art, because the artists deserve the credit. So, I want to remind you guys that you can follow us on Twitter at Winchester Report. You can send us email via the Winchester Report at gmail.com. And we are also on Facebook, facebook.com/the Winchester Report. And remember to rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcatcher service. We are on SoundCloud, we are on Lisbon, we are on Stitcher, and of course we are on iTunes. So, Jenny, you can do your shameless plugs.
Okay. On Instagram, I am DaveCat_Shipper1123, referencing the first episode of Doctor Who ever.
Which you were not even thought about.
Yeah.
I was
Pretty sure. Yeah. Twitter, I am SilkWare_Llamacorn. On Wattpad, even though I don't plan on writing anything anytime soon, if you'd like to talk to me about stuff, I am two, spelled as in there are too many people in this room, or okay, just generally in my situation, there are too many cats in this room, or there are too many beds in this room, because I have a futon on my floor for some reason. So now most of my room is bed. And what was it? Okay, no, I'm not saying that. I don't think anyone uses 6 tribes.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. No, on Tumblr, I am Mythical Super Pans 22. That's what I was forgetting.
Okay. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Tumblr. My URL is it'slilithhellfire.tumblr.com. I want to encourage you guys to check out the Teen Wolf podcast. It's called Welcome to Beacon Hills. I host it with Dawn, who does the Red Shirted podcast, which is about the 100 on the CW. And that's all. So, this has been Lilith.
And this is Jenny.
And this is the Winchester Report.
Signing off.